On the 13th of August 1982 in Kirkby, Merseyside in England, Susan Venable and Neil Venable were one of the happiest couples. They were privileged to lay sight on a beautiful bouncing baby boy and newly born. They named him John Venable. It was a blessing, or so they believed. 10 days after, in Liverpool, England, UK, Anne Thompson and her husband were expecting a child to be delivered, and so it happened. On the 23rd of August 1982, Anne Thompson delivered a beautiful boy, Robert Thompson. Both Robert and John had rough early years. Robert was fifth child out of 7 children. His mother was depressed and alcoholic, and sometimes even attempted suicide. This was majorly because her husband, Thompson's father, had abandoned the family early on. As of Venable, although their parents were separated, the father was still in the picture. His mother was known to be harsh toward the young boy. She was also accused of being a loose woman who was often seen with several different men, probably the reason they had separated with her husband. Thompson and Venable knew each other from the school, and they became best of friends. They were known to be good at breaking rules and low-level criminals, just at the age of 10. But on 12th of February 1993, the two boys would take their crime to a horrific new level.
Before we continue, please consider subscribing and help this channel at least hit 10,000 subscribers. Not only will it not cost you anything, it will help us deliver more of the contents of this nature. Also, do not forget to hit the notification button so that you are not going to miss any of our weekly uploads. We upload once or twice in a week. If you've done that, let's get going.
In the dark corner of human histories, there are stories that leave permanent scars on our collective consciousness. The story of Thompson and Venable is one such a tragic chapter. It was an ordinary day at the bustling shopping center in Bootle, England. Parents held their children's hand, oblivious to the impending horror that awaited them. Little James Bulger, just 2 years old, innocent and full of life, had no idea that his fate was about to be forever altered. Two figures emerged from the crowd, Robert Thompson and John Venable, both merely 10 years old.
Ran with him and I shook his hand.
And whose idea was it to walk towards him?
Mine.
Was it?
Then it was Robert's idea to kill him.
They would become the perpetrators of the unimaginable cruelty. It was at 3:42 p.m. when Bulger was abducted and dragged outside the shopping mall by his two 10-year-old murderers.
I have a photograph here, which is a video camera photograph.
That's me. That's me.
So the boy holding James's hand is you,
Yeah.
and the boy ahead of you in the dark jacket and trousers, Robert Thompson. And what was it you told us?
I killed James.
Dennis Fulger and Ralph Burgess were out of their sane mind. Their son, biological son, was missing. Meanwhile, Thompson and Venable led the toddler away from the shopping mall. Many people who saw the three kids, they were not bothered. They thought that the three were siblings, although there were some who were very suspicious and they were concerned about the aggressive behavior towards the toddler. Thompson and Venable arrived at the rail tracks in Walton. There they splashed a stolen blue paint into Bulger's eyes. They then bludgeoned him with bricks and stones, kicked his battered body, and shoved batteries into his mouth. Finally, they hit Balga over the head with a 22-pound bar that caused 10 skull fractures.
And what was it you told us?
That I killed James.
Right. Now, I know that took a lot of doing.
I can't tell you anything else.
Right.
That's the worst bit.
Right. Okay. Right. I know that's the worst bit, but you know what you did. Right. Think about it. Right. And just tell us what happened.
He took me on the rail so I can start throwing bricks out. And then
Who did?
Robbie.
Why did he throw bricks at him?
No.
Was he bleeding?
Or either.
Where was he bleeding from?
Face. Then it was Robert's idea to kill him.
Okay.
To finish now because I can't speak anymore.
It is believed that Balga's last words were, "I want Mom," before he went silent forever.
He hits him where exactly?
In the face.
In the
I
face.
think he hit him in the eyes.
And he hits him in the eyes. Right.
Now, was James making any noises
He
then?
was knocked out.
He was knocked out. Was he moving at all?
The two boys placed his body on the rail track, hoping that his death would look accidental. Though a train came and severed Balga's body into two, it was obvious that his demise was no accident. His body was found 2 days later by a group of teenage boys who were playing in the area. The parents of Thompson and Venable never could have foreseen the monstrous path their children were to take. They were left to grapple with their own guilt, confusion, and profound sorrow. In a secluded location away from the prying eyes, Balga became a victim of their sinister intention. Symphony of brutality perpetrated by the hands that should have known nothing but innocence. Balga was subjected to unimaginable suffering, enduring torment that no child should ever experience. The nation watched in shock as the trial unfolded. Those two boys, barely old enough to understand the weight of their action, stood accused of heinous crime that tore at the fabric of the society. The verdict came, and the society grappled with the question of how to punish such young offenders. Rehabilitation, justice, and protection of society all hung in balance. On November 24, 1993, Robert Thompson and John Venable were found guilty of the abduction and murder of James Balga, making them the youngest convicted killers in modern British history. They were both ordered to be imprisoned for 8 years, and they served those years in the Red Bank Secure Unit in St. Helens, Merseyside. They were both released in 2001 at the age of 18. Though very little is known about Thompson, it is believed that he is in a stable relationship with someone who is very much aware of his past. As of Venable, he has been in prison again in 2010 for possession of images of child abuse, and he was released in 2013. He was arrested again in 2017 for the same crime, and in 2018 he was sentenced to 40 months in prison for admitting to possess more than 1,000 child abuse images and a pedophile manual. Balga's father thinks that if Venable is released now, he will be at risk of killing again, and the only way to prevent that is by locking him up for life. Do you agree with Balga's father? I'm waiting to see in the comment section. The story of Robert Thompson and John Venable remains etched in our memories, a poignant reminder of the darkness that can reside even within the most tender souls. May it serve as a cautionary tale and a plea for the society that strives to prevent such tragedies from ever happening again. I appreciate your time.